From the depths of history comes the return of Three Legs, Four Wheels. I think I'm Paul.
Sean.
Chris.
And Kieran.
We're all out of mothballs. Or is it just the way that some of us are sat?
I was going to say more comebacks than Tyson Fury, but I don't know if I get away with that anymore.
He's local these days. You can't say this.
Local legend Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
I mean, don't forget.
Has he moved over there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he lives here now,
The daughter that just had the big wedding, the wedding was over here and it brought part of the island to a standstill.
Was it the part with Peter Andre in it?
No, he was at the evening part.
The surprise guest at the
he was the wedding singer.
Wedding was Peter Andre.
Oh, I mean, your caliber of surprise guest is upsettingly poor.
Yeah, a friend of mine got married over a few years ago. Actually had the wedding reception at the same place as the Furies, and their wedding singer was Limahl.
Wow.
Yes.
Who grew up in the very town I'm sat in right now, Leighton Buzzard. The only claim to fame.
Sorry, Limahl has actually killed me.
We've lost Sean.
Kajagoogoo. I don't know if they were big in around the world beyond the UK, but they're the people who did Too Shy. Hush Hush, I Do I.
They don't write them like they used to. We should really mention something about F1, seeing as we haven't talked about it for 2.5 months.
Is Limahl not F1 enough?
Well, clearly not. I can see the complaints coming in already. Sorry we've been away for so long. We had a broken down mixer, which we replaced with one that broke.
We've not had like good tech, have we? We're like the Aston Martin of F1 of podcast tech.
If you hear any noises that sound like shouting at a cat, by the way, it's one of us shouting at a cat.
This is our third attempt, is it?
This is our third attempt. Third attempt at recording a show in the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I'm hoping I can see bouncy lines up and down the screen and things that say the recording, and red lights are on, and things may be working. So we're using the old mixer, which I managed to cobble back together, which actually didn't work at first.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, it's a shame the new mixer doesn't work, but at least we can sort that out another time.
Yeah. The old one's working. We are back for the foreseeable. Hey, it's the summer break.
We have already had 2 extended breaks since the last podcast. Speaking of which, there's 2 things I've got for you briefly here. Firstly, I want to send a thank you to Kurt Sutton, because of your generous donation, I can make this sound. And make an absolute fucking mess.
See, he's been shaking that can.
This was worth it. Whatever the donation was, it was worth it.
This is what happens when you leave a can in the fridge too long, Kieran.
Hey, yeah. This paid for our Snoop Dogg wine.
Do we own the Snoop Dogg wine yet?
No, me and Dan drank it.
On the last podcast, all of us, we were talking about celebrity wine. We were talking about Gary Barlow's wine and Kylie Minogue's, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
And thanks to a very kind donation, I have purchased Megadeth Beer Co. Rattlehead IPA.
Wow.
From the band Metal Death.
Megadeth.
Metal Death.
What did I say?
Metal Death.
Megadeth. Yeah, my bad. Yep. Sorry.
Clearly a big fan.
I can't name 2 songs by Megadeth, I won't lie. But,
I'm about to use one of them as a pun if this beer tastes terrible, so...
well, here we go. It is this 4.5 gold IPA is naturally hazy with tropical fruit flavours and citrus hop aromas. And I've just looked at my mic and I spilt it all over my mic. So that's good. Chin chin. Yeah, it's not great, but I'll drink it. But thank you for that.
So for all the Megadeth fans, we could say, piss sells, but you're buying.
But who's buying? I knew you were going to go with that.
I've been waiting for that one since you said you got that beer.
The second thing I have for you is we haven't done a podcast over the last 3 races. So I've written a quick quiz over what happened in the last 3 races. We don't have to go through all of the races.
What was the one 3 ago? This does not bode well. Was that China?
China.
Jesus Christ. Was that a question? Because I took a minute there.
That's the China section of the quiz. So you've each got one question on each race.
Oh, God.
Oh, hell. Right, okay.
Okay, Paul, this is the China round. Which driver failed to make 107% in qualifying?
I'm going to say Lance Stroll, because that's the predictable answer.
Yeah, and you know what? That would be the safe answer, but it was Sergio Perez. Sean, who was the only non-Mercedes driver on the main race podium?
Ooh. Was it Lando Norris?
It was Lewis Hamilton. Chris.
Okay.
Kimi Antonelli was the first Italian race winner since 2006. Who was the last?
Giancarlo Fisichella?
Correct. We move on to Japan. Paul, which Williams got through to Q2?
Carlos Sainz.
Correct. If anyone is wondering, yes, I am currently off work. Sean.
Yes.
Ollie Behrman crashed at a lot of G's up at Spoon Curve. In doing so, which ankle did he hurt?
His right.
Correct.
I would have just gone for his.
Not the marshals.
I understood the question.
Chris, which driver who finished 16th in the race is an anagram of farcical pontoon?
Outstanding.
Farcical pontoon? This is Fernando Alonso, but I think that's wrong.
It's Franco Colapinto.
Okay.
Can I just ask, did you figure that out yourself, or did you put it into one of these like websites that generates anagrams for you?
Oh, well, yeah, a website. I did.
But that is now his new official pod nickname.
Pontoon, here he is.
Farcical pontoon. Yeah, no, I went to uni and did radio. I can't do anagrams. That's not my forte. Good news, we move on to Miami. Paul, who chewed on Martin Brundle's mic filter on the grid?
Oh, Ryan thingy. Not Reynolds, the other one. Gosling.
Jimmy Fallon. Sean,
yes.
Which driver decided Pierre Gasly should be briefly upside down on lap 5?
Oh, yep. I remember it. I remember the... Was it Lawson?
Correct. It's Liam Lawson. And Chris, finally, which driver scored... Let's start again. Which driver both scored their first points of the season in Miami and is an anagram of labelled Roxana?
I love that Chris gets all the anagrams.
Why am I getting the anagrams? Franco Colapinto, I think, scored his first point to Miami, but we've already had him.
I mean, there aren't all that many drivers with X's in the names.
No, well, no, that's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, that one. I'll say Alexander Albon.
Correct. Well done, everyone.
Hey.
You all did very well.
Oh,
right, so that's everything important that happened in the last 3 races.
So basically all that we've taken out of that is I can't tell the difference between Jimmy Fallon and Ryan Gosling.
I think Jimmy Fallon would probably take that.
Franco Colapinto is now farcical pontoon.
Yes.
Who can forget Alex
and Chris doesn't
Jimmy Fallon's Oscar-nominated turn in Drive?
And Chris isn't a fan of anagrams.
No. Well, I mean, I'm not a fan, but what was that?
I don't want to say I made it mildly easier, but I did pick one of 22 drivers.
This is true, yeah.
That whittled it down slightly. Whereas when I used to do that quiz on my breakfast show, I would come up with the most ridiculous anagram for a village town hall's name or something like that. So...
So,
Sorry.
Where do we go from here apart from, Canada? Oh, right. Interesting.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I thought Canada being a sprint race would be rubbish. I was wrong.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I had me doubts, because, I mean, the track doesn't necessarily lend itself to a quick, all-out sprint session. To be honest, it's a very tactical track. And races there are usually won and decidedly lost in the pits, especially when, say, somebody completely ignores a red light and ploughs into the two cars in front of them at the end of the pit lane.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that one.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the weather's always going to be an issue, which can completely bugger up sprint races as well.
And this is almost an advert for bringing Canada earlier on in the year. I know there's only sort of a 2 or 3 week difference, but by having it in late May as opposed to mid-June, you're guaranteed it's going to be a degree or 2 or 3 cooler, because it's always cooler in May than June. Not today, if you're any of us four, but in Canada, that worked out quite well. So it's almost an argument to let's have Canada in April next year. If this isn't what it's going to be like, if the colder tyres bring more racing, then let the weather play a part.
Given how a lot of my Canadian friends in various parts of the country were complaining about the weather in April, I don't think Pirelli are quite ready with a snow tyre yet.
Okay. I take it back.
There is you definitely can go too early, I think, with Canada, can't you? But yeah, a bit of
Like
mixed
when they
weather
went
is
too
fun.
early with Silverstone that year.
Yes.
And that nearly got snowed off.
Yes.
Yeah, didn't it snow in practice or something?
It was in Barcelona, wasn't it? There's a picture somewhere of Bottas making a snowman.
Oh yeah, I mean there was snow.
Yeah. Oh, and
snow at the
testing,
2018 pre-season test.
Yeah, where one driver did a timed lap.
I remember that.
It was.
I remember
Fernando
that
Alonso.
because me and a member of the
The other
team
one.
who's not with us anymore had just been down to Brackley, and where we'd interviewed George Russell. Anyone got the name drop bell kicking about? I haven't actually got my sample pad with me tonight. And then I got a message back saying that the team were listening to that episode while they were snowed in the garage.
Oh, wow.
I was quite chuffed with that, actually.
That's pretty smart. Yeah.
I think what we have to remember is that the best question of that interview was clearly mine, which was the George Russell, who in the team does the best impression of Toto Wolff?
What was the answer?
He laughed, actually, if I remember rightly. I think he laughed.
It was vaguely non-committal about an answer with that, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. He said lots of people try it, but they end up sounding like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I wonder who else does that.
I wouldn't know.
You do know that somebody still has you doing an impression of Arnie doing an impression of Toto saying "Lewis, you idiot" as their ringtone.
Yes. Yes.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
It was a message tone, I think, wasn't it?
It was either a ringtone or a message tone, but yeah, I think Jana has still got that as a ringtone that that she got you to record specially for her.
Oh, that's superb.
But yeah, the Silverstone nearly snowed off. Was that 2000? It was that 99 or 2000 when
I think
when they brought it
2000 when they
massively
brought it forward,
forward.
wasn't it?
Yeah, it was round 4 of that year's championship, I seem to remember. And yeah, lots of rain, lots of cold. Yeah, it just didn't work.
Sometimes it snows in April.
Yes.
Is that a lyric from
Sometimes
something?
the sun goes round the moon. Oh, wait, hang on.
But yeah, Canada chucked up two very, very interesting races.
Because... Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
I was going to say, with many a talking point, which I think we should probably talk about now because we're 15 minutes in and barely talked any F1. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, we are so back.
Yes.
We've had a quiz. Come on.
We did have an F1-themed quiz.
Don't make me whip out the anagrams next time, Paul.
I thought you still had the restraining order from doing that.
Was it before we were recording we were talking about balls?
Yes.
Yes.
The balls were moving.
I'm glad no one mentioned it. Right, moving on. Yes, the sprint race was fantastic.
It was, yeah. Sprint races often aren't fantastic, but this one really was. Such close racing, little bit of naughty defending maybe from George Russell against Kimi Antonelli. That's the main talking point, isn't it, that's come out of the sprint race
and the Grand Prix.
Yeah, the Grand Prix, I would say less naughty, but it was still, two teammates having a go. You're both fighting for a win and potentially the championship this year. You are going to sort of suck in through your teeth every time they get close. But at least I do. So yeah, it's going to be one of those. It's going to rumble on a little bit longer, I think. I don't think even if Toto Wolff does turn around and say, right, guys, like you need to keep it clean. I think we're still going to end up with a moment, much like Hamilton Rosberg. Nico hit me, man, or various other incidents between Hamilton and Rosberg.
I'll go back even further. Hamilton and Button. What's he doing?
Yeah, there is that. Yeah, that was in Canada. That was Canada. Yeah.
Hamilton and Massa went through a phase as well, didn't they?
Don't touch me, man.
Yeah.
That was that 1 year, wasn't it? 2011.
Yeah, it was like 6 times they crashed into each other.
Yeah, but they weren't teammates and they weren't fighting for a championship. That's what makes it a little bit, spicier. So yeah, an interesting weekend all in all, but it's started on Friday with sprint qualifying, which sort of threw up what we thought that McLaren and Ferrari would be closer to Mercedes. That did not happen. Mercedes actually pulled away a little bit further. Max Verstappen is dragging that Red Bull a little bit further up, and as the weekend progressed, we saw with Red Bull as well that Hadjar actually managed to get some performance out of that Red Bull as well. So whilst all the talk has been about early season, has been about Ferrari and McLaren, edging closer to Mercedes, what actually happened in Canada was Mercedes pulled further away and Red Bull actually got closer to Ferrari and McLaren in terms of pace.
Yeah. Hadjar, I think, was very much up with Max throughout, both qualifying sessions really, not just sprint qualifying, but also main qualifying. But both of his races clearly not matching up to how they were doing in qualifying. I think what it does show is that Red Bull have. I don't think it's a case that Isaac is all of a sudden on the tail of Max. I think that the car now suits both drivers better, and it's affected Max a little bit. And these new engine rules have probably contributed to that quite a bit. But yeah, in the sprint race, Hadjar was quite unlucky. He finished down, didn't he? Did he pit early on, or he broke down or something?
He had some kind of mechanical drama.
He ended up in the pit, didn't he?
Did he go into the pit and then did they restart him and then they sent him back out and then he was bitching that he'd undone his seatbelt?
Yeah.
Didn't he had an issue? Didn't he pull into the pits? I want to say he had a penalty for something.
He had a penalty during the race, the main race.
Oh yeah, maybe
a lot of penalties.
I think he did have a couple of penalties.
There was I think Rafael Camaro ended up trying to retire the car, and they said to him in the F2 race, "No, you don't. You're about to get a penalty. Get out there."
Because under the new regs, they will make you serve it in the following race.
Yeah, and you don't want that in Monaco.
No.
So just looking at the results, so Alonso officially retired from the sprint. Hadjar was 3 laps down.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah, I think he I'm sure he came in and went back out.
Yeah, in the chat room, actually during both races, people were saying, I've never seen so many don't retires.
So it's because they all need the track time, don't they?
I mean that's basically what everyone came back with because new regs, limited track time.
2 fewer races than they were expecting at this point of the year.
Yeah, parts that they should have known how to use by now, but for one reason or another, haven't been able to use. So I think we're going to be seeing that quite a bit right up to when the teams stop working on this year's car and then try and work out what the hell next year's engine regs are going to be. Apparently we're going 60-40 next year rather than 50-50.
And that's what Max wants, doesn't
Max
he? He wants 60-40.
Yeah, the absolute limit that he will accept. It's 60-40. The absolute bottom. He said he needs to be more than that, but the absolute bottom limit I'll accept is 60-40.
At the moment, it's pretty much 50-50, isn't it?
It is straight 50-50. That is in the regs. Audi are the team that's pushing back against this the most. They want to keep things as they are, which I can kind of understand their point of view on it, because they've spent that long building this engine. This is what they've come in
for, isn't it?
Everything's based around what these regulations are and how these regulations are going to stay for the next, I want to say 4 years. And then to change them after 1 year, it's kind of throwing their development process completely off track.
It's at the very least 2029, but the teams can choose to extend it to the end of 2030. This is where old, what's his name? I was about to say Al-Fired.
MBS?
Thank you. Yeah, MBS. Thank you. This is where he's turned around and said, well, we're going to change to V8s with sustainable balls.
Sustainable balls?
Mika Häkkinen is coming back to the sport. The sabbatical is over.
So I can debut this sound effect.
Balls.
There you go. Sustainable fuels by 2030.
We may have lost Paul.
Sorry, that's just finished, mate.
At least it's a sustainable balls, At least it's not unsustainable.
Carry on without me. I'll only hold you back.
If not, then they'll have to wait till 2031. Where I'm sure by then everyone will be a little testy.
Oh!
But they did say they can't make any major changes in this rule set until 2028. So it would only be the last 2 years of any major changes. So they can make deployment changes and things, but in terms of actual hardware, this is it until 2028, as I understand it.
Unless MBS changes his mind and then we're doing it because I want to do it. And I think MBS actually stands for must be seen.
Yes.
What if the B stands for balls?
Must balls seen?
No. In
the case of the Vegas Grand Prix, mainly bollocks show business.
Hey. God, that could still. I know that we haven't had a podcast in a couple of months, but there's still the chance Vegas could be the last Grand Prix of the year. It's looking less likely now, but it's not out of the question.
According to who? Sorry, this is a different podcast. Let's carry on with Formula One.
That's what they want you to think. Yeah, let's carry on with Formula One.
Good point. I think the 60-40 split, I think it's almost worth the teams going for, because F1 is a more attractive prospect with their star driver, Max Verstappen, for now, star driver. Kimi's having a very good run, still in the sport. And if the whole argument has always been, it's got to be road relevant. These engines have to rely on battery because cars right now are relying on battery hybrid technology, and we need to be much more relevant to that. Well, yes, but I don't take what I see from Formula One and go out on the mean streets of the Isle of Wight and drive around like Max Verstappen. So why should I be more impressed by the technology underneath me being similar to what he drives? it's just not. It doesn't matter to me as a fan. I know it matters to the shareholders of the companies who have to justify their participation in Formula One.
Yeah.
But I almost want to go into every single boardroom and go, people, you can get away with not having to worry about this, right? Because the fans don't really care and will still buy your cars.
So, yeah, I've had this debate on this podcast before with the aforementioned previous member. See, we're talking members and balls. It's all gone terribly wrong.
This is why we've got that little E next to our listing on some podcast apps.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. But there's an awful lot of technology that has just found its way. That started off in Formula One as an innovation to lighten the car or make it more efficient in a certain way. That has found its way down into your road car. And there's stuff like even in bog standard road cars today that actually started in F1. So a lot of cars, if you've got an auto gearbox with paddle shifters, obviously paddle shifters came from Formula One. Your traction control. Traction control was invented in Formula One to help with cars in damper conditions. Everybody remembers the advent of KERS, which obviously then became what is now your hybrid cars, which is the argument we're having about the road relevance thing. You've also got ABS, anti-lock brakes. They were designed to stop drivers, locking their brakes and running wide at corners. But they're in the cars because it's much safer to stop with ABS than it is without it.
Can I just point out, as somebody who appears to be turning into James May as he gets older, I drive a bottom of the range Mark II Dacia Sandero that is basically a step up from the Ford Model A.
And I bet you've got ABS brakes in it.
I don't think I have.
I think you will have. And they're sort of pretty standard now.
Yeah.
It didn't even have a bloody radio.
It doesn't?
No, I had to fit one myself.
I think they generally treat brakes as more important than radio.
And that's coming from a local radio presenter, people. Said through gritted teeth there. Sean Cowper, Manx Radio.
As a piece of car equipment.
Yeah.
So I do understand the whole road relevance thing when it comes like Formula One and road relevance. If they're going to go down the road of sustainable fuels for Formula One cars, bringing back V8 engines, that'd be fantastic for the sport. But you got to wonder if there is that disconnect. Does it then just become the sport by itself? Which is fine, nothing wrong with that. But then it loses some of its original formula, if you will, the Formula One, the constant driving forwards and things. If that technology is not filtered down to road cars, which I'm sure it will be, there'll be sustainable fuels available at fuel pumps in years to come.
Mm-hmm. I'm fairly sure that a lot of the big manufacturers they want to use the WEC prototypes as the sort of test bed for what can be road relevant in the future. And I think WEC prototypes is possibly a better test bed for it. I mean, fuck's sake, it's in the name, prototype.
Yeah, it's a decent test bed, but I mean, who's gonna go out and say my car's like a WEC car? Like nobody's interested. Like if you had the Renault Clio Williams, like way back in the 90s, it just had Williams and they had gold wheels. That was literally it. They sold like hotcakes.
Didn't just have gold wheels. They had a very bean can exhaust as well. You could hear it well before you saw it.
Were they standard with bean can exhaust, or is it just everybody with one put one on?
Everyone I've seen had one on, so I assume they were standard. But to be honest, if you were the kind of person to go out and buy a Williams Clio, you would be the kind of person to fit a bean can exhaust on it.
I'm asking the Google.
You're asking the Google.
But I think, Formula One should be the sort of, it's always billed itself as the pinnacle of motorsport. It should have the most technically advanced, fastest cars.
Yeah.
And
would IndyCar argue that technically they're straighter in a faster in a straight line?
No, straighter in a quick line.
Straighter in a quick line, quicker in a straight line.
They are. Yeah, they are faster in a straight line. IndyCar is, and there's no denying that. But just look at the lap times at one of the only circuits that you can compare the two cars on at Circuit of the Americas, and that's all I'll say.
Yeah, the faster in a straight line. It's just they take a little longer to get there, and they aren't as great out of the corners.
Mm-hmm.
Are they technically spec cars, IndyCar?
They all have the same chassis.
They've all got the same chassis. They've all got spec aero, and the only real difference is the engine, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that IndyCar very much, especially this weekend just gone, it deserves its plaudits for putting on a spectacular, very, very fast show. But the difference with Formula One is that I think it presents a lot more challenges to overcome than IndyCar.
It's a lot more technical, isn't it? An F1 car. There's just a lot more going on there.
Yeah, I love going to I don't know, what's something we have here that we have in the US? Popeye's Chicken. I love going to Popeye's Chicken, but sometimes I just want to make my own lasagna because it's more technical.
Only if you make your own pasta sheets.
Okay, sometimes I want to buy the pasta sheets from Tesco and then make my own lasagna. Only if I grow the peppers. I know.
It's understandable.
I
put a burrata on crisps earlier. I was very happy with myself.
A homemade speck lasagna.
Yeah,
yeah,
spec
exactly.
lasagna's
Yeah.
fine.
It's a spec lasagna that I've tweaked. I follow this Instagram account called something like Silly Crisps, where you turn crisps into a massive dish of things. And I don't buy things like, I don't treat myself to 400 or 500 pound things, but I do spend the unnecessary quid here or there every so often. And I bought a burrata from Tesco earlier and stuck that on top of my crisps, and I felt very classy. And I was very happy with myself.
Very nice. Do you know what the best thing to do with crisps is if you get like tortilla chips, usually a flavored tortilla chip. I like spicy food, so I grab some spicy tortillas. I'm just going to say Doritos. Smash them up and then use them to bread your chicken before you cook it. That's an excellent thing to do. It works surprisingly well as in place of breadcrumbs.
You're getting it all. You're getting it all on this show.
Yeah, 3 legs, 4 pans.
Yeah. Celebrity endorsed booze, cookery hints.
3 legs, 1 pan, because I'm not using 2 pans to cook a meal. Come on.
And just to clarify, I'm using 0 pans to make the crisps. Or chip, as it would be called in the US. I open the packet and I put it on the platter. And a platter is very technical. A slightly nicer platter than norm. Platter than norm.
I mean,
I've seen the photo that you sent through, Kieran. I'm jealous.
I mean, to me, that looks like nice. Posh uncooked nachos.
Yeah, it looks a bit nacho-y, doesn't it?
Posh uncooked nachos. Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it, yeah.
What sauce are we dealing with there? What's the sauce?
So I'll put this photo on the Discord if anyone wants it. What you see is Piper's Anglesey sea salt crisps with a Tesco burrata. Then I've put olives on there and salt and pepper, chili flakes, and the sauce is balsamic glaze, but also I put a bit of olive oil on there as well.
How fucking middle class are you?
Yeah, I know. Look, I have no children. I can afford every so often to make something stupid, and that's what I made. It's great.
And it is very much on a platter rather than a plate.
Yeah, I should probably. Yeah, I'll put it in the podcast chat.
I'm sure everyone's going to be utterly confused by that until tomorrow when the show goes out.
Yeah. Canada.
Choking it, yes. Canada, right. We now have the start of the all-out war between Mercedes drivers. It's just like the last 10 years never happened.
Yes.
It's been wonderful to watch these last couple of races. I think especially Saturday was fun because they did very nearly crash, but Sunday was fun because they did very nearly crash again.
Yep.
I mean, somebody commented during the chat. I didn't actually get a chance to say all this before, but George Russell would be complaining about George Russell's driving if he wasn't George Russell.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well put.
Yeah, do as I say, not as I move under braking.
The thing is, if we're going to get into the nuances of exactly what happened, I think in the sprint race, the thing that swung it for me, and it took a little while to get the onboard footage from George's car, the thing that swung it for me was you can see as they're going around the corner, and Kimi Antonelli's on his right-hand side, on his outside as they're going around turn one. And you can just see George looks and sees Kimi there and just opens his steering wheel just a little, just for a fraction of a second, just enough to be like, no, you're not coming past. And that to me wasn't leaving racing room. Like racing is fine and racing hard. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see people get penalties for stuff like that. But if we're going to apportion blame to somebody, it was a little naughty of George, I thought, to do that.
It was a little naughty, but I quite liked that because I think we've seen so often before the kind of like the younger driver trying to sort of make that impression and thinking, oh, I'll get away with more because I'm the sort of the newer one, and that's the older, more experienced teammate who's got the wise head on his shoulder. So I kind of love that the older, wiser head went, nah, fuck you. It bodes well for the battle going forward.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is a thing. If I was going to say just there, the more I see it, the more I think that George probably was a little lucky not to get a penalty. But the penalty would discourage it in the future. I know that's the point of a penalty, where it's something which is out and out malicious. But this wasn't, I wouldn't say out and out malicious. It was strong defence that maybe tiptoed over the line. If we get rid of all that, we haven't got a huge amount to look forward to on a Sunday. So, or a Saturday. It was on a Saturday, I guess. So yeah, absolutely bring it on.
Quote of the week. And thanks to Matt Steele for sending this to us. It came from the Red Flags pod. Russell's World Championship dreams are slipping from his callus-free, supple English hands.
From his callus-free, supple English hands.
That's superb.
It's not wrong, though, is it?
No, it's
I do feel sorry. Oh, go on.
Sorry, just to circle off the square on Matt Steele. I saw him do something very cool with Porsches in the middle of a desert somewhere.
Oh, he's a qualified Porsche Racing Club instructor.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw that on Instagram. It came up. Well, it was looking impressive.
Yes, so not only does he appear on the pod, used to have the sim race lap record around the TT course, and he's an all-round nice guy. He also
let's go back on used to have. Used to have.
Has he
been beaten?
He's been beaten by a couple of other people now.
Oh dear.
I keep sending him the update every time somebody beats his time, and he will be coming back over here as soon as he gets the time and the money to do it.
Yeah, sorry, Chris.
Yeah, I was going to say I felt sorry for George Russell in the Sunday race, because the failure obviously was nothing to do with him doing anything wrong. I thought him running wide at the corner maybe caused the car to break down initially, but the problem happened before he got to the corner where he decided to go mow some lawn, and I do feel he was a little bit. I think we were robbed of a fight for the win, and I think that George was definitely robbed of the chance to get some confidence back. Not that I don't think he's lost confidence in himself, but I just think he's definitely on the back foot, even more so now because he scored 0 points and his teammates scored maximum points. So that it makes it that much tougher for George. So I did feel bad for him. I don't think he's the villain in this situation necessarily. I just thought that move on the Saturday sprint race was a bit naughty. But yeah, it's how often do you see a Mercedes power unit failure? I mean, I thought we saw a second one when Norris pulled over, but it was gearbox, was it?
Norris
It
went into
anti-stall,
anti-stall,
didn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, a Mercedes power unit failure in a Mercedes is incredibly rare. Just ask Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah. At the worst possible time in Malaysia.
Yes.
And again, 2016 when he was fighting with his teammate. Although Kimi's pretty good this season, isn't he?
Kimi's been fantastic. He's really stepped it up from he's had his year of making mistakes. That's done. It's out of the way. We haven't seen him race because he's obviously in the Mercedes. Mercedes is by far the best car at the moment. We haven't seen him really race anybody who's not in a Mercedes. But when he's racing George has been in F1 now for what, 7 years, 8 years?
2019 was his first season.
So this is his 8th season.
Yeah.
In Formula One. So he's just as good as George Russell, and this is only his 2nd year in Formula One.
Yeah,
so he's doing brilliantly. He really is.
He's. If you told me Mercedes were going to be as far ahead as this at the start of the season, and many people did say this, you would say that Russell had this championship nearly in the bag. But Kimi Antonelli has been superb.
That's what many people were saying before the start of the season. This year's championship, it's George Russell's to lose. The Mercedes is far in advance of every other car on the grid, and Kimi Antonelli, while good, isn't constant race winner and world championship material. And then we get a few races in, and he's won 4 on the trot, and it's like, oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah. And there was that stat that I shared on our chat group, which I'll just read out again, which is starting to sound impressive now when it comes to Kimi Antonelli. So, because we haven't done the podcast for a little while, as was pointed out before, Antonelli's gone on a run of 4 race wins, and in that his first 3 race wins were from pole.
Mm-hmm.
So he is the only driver to win his first 3 races from pole consecutively. He is in the company of Senna and Schumacher when it comes to getting your first 3 poles consecutively. And he's in the company of Damon Hill and Mika Hakkinen when it comes to winning your first 3 races consecutively. So, it's that he is the 100th Italian driver in Formula One. There are currently only 4 Italian drivers more successful than Kimi Antonelli, and he is 19.
Yeah.
It's not bad going, is it?
No.
Isn't he something like only 4 race wins behind Charles Leclerc or something now?
Oh my God.
He will be, I think, probably.
He is, yeah. I think Leclerc's got 8 and Antonelli's got 4.
So Alberto Ascari, obviously, world champion way back in the 50s, most successful Italian in Formula One. Nino Farina, of course, the very first ever world champion in Formula One. Riccardo Patrese and Michele Alboreto. Out of the 100 drivers in 100 Italian drivers in Formula One history, they are the only ones more successful currently than Kimi Antonelli.
I don't think he's got all that far to go to move up one either, has he?
If he wins 3 more races, he'll only have Ascari to beat. But of course, Farina had a world championship as well, so I mean that does count.
I mean, to be honest, if he wins 3 more races, I think he's possibly on the verge of being nailed on for a world championship.
I mean,
don't forget when Farina.
There's a long way to go.
When Farina won his world championship, there was 8 races in a season.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I was going to say there's 2 asterisks, isn't there? The first asterisk is the lack of races in a season, and the second asterisk is probably the life expectancy of drivers in 1950 or so, which thankfully Kimi Antonelli, touch wood, will never come across. But it's still a sensational stat, isn't it? Antonelli is. I mean, the last time we recorded one of these podcasts, he hadn't won anything. Pole last year in Miami Sprint, that was his big success. So, it's huge.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Gianni Morbidelli, not even close.
Yeah. Take that, Morbidelli.
Luca Badoa, Never heard of her.
I hardly knew her. Moving to the other end. Aston Martin now claim to have solved all the vibration problems because they left the car in Japan and they put it on the dyno and they tested the hell out of everything, and they've made it
They left the car in Japan, like they walked away from it and left it there.
I think it was more abandoned.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah, well, at the end of the Japanese Grand Prix, they stayed in Japan for an extra week with one of the cars, and they put it through its paces on the dyno just to get rid of all these vibrations.
With Honda.
With Honda, which were causing all the problems, making the battery fall off and knocking the driver's teeth out and causing permanent nerve damage. And they've managed to fix that, and now we know that it's not the vibrations that were causing the problem. The car and the engine don't work together, and the seat's too uncomfortable.
Well, is this not the reason that Andy Cowell stepped back a little bit to make sure that the Honda and the Aston Martin would marry up properly together, because that was his sort of job, really, looking after engines, especially at Mercedes.
Which he started to do, but the engine is... Imagine if you bought a Henry Hoover from Temu.
I'm listening.
It would appear to be roughly that powerful. But the latest thing that's come out of Aston Martin since the weekend is they've got the seat in the wrong position.
Was this Alonso that in particular seemed to be
Alonso
suffering?
in particular is struggling because he is too reclined.
This was Alonso's retirement, wasn't it, from the sprint? I've just remembered. The retirement was that his seat was coming loose, or he was slipping out of his seat. One of those two things was the problem, so they had to retire him.
Yeah, apparently it's because it's laid back too far and it was giving him a dead leg, so he couldn't actually shuffle.
And he's not the tallest person in the world, is he, old Fernando?
What is he, about 5'5", 5'6"? I mean,
So he wouldn't need the reclined seat.
Yeah.
They recline it to make more room for a taller driver.
Yeah, he's jockey height.
Yeah. But when the seat does start to recline, it becomes a bit of a can he see over the steering wheel situation?
Can his legs reach the pedals?
Yeah.
Basically, Yuki Tsunoda in a 4x4.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not good. It does seem like every single race now there's a different comedy excuse down at Aston Martin. The biggest problem though is they're not excuses; they're things they're actually coming across.
I mean, it's not as though it's a new team and they've got nobody there running the whole design department with experience of creating, I don't know, say 9 or 10 World Championship winning cars.
Yeah, exactly. So when you look at, they put the team together, didn't they? I suppose quite recently in terms of who's still working with who. I thought it was quite interesting that Dan Fallows, who was at Aston Martin for many years, has just started at Racing Bulls. So I mean, if he was the key man, let's see what happens with Racing Bulls, whether or not they turn their season around. Not that they're having a particularly terrible season.
They're looking all right, Racing Bulls, aren't they?
Yeah, they're looking okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when you look at like new teams, if we're going to talk new teams, so Cadillac, for example,
This season was all they already said this season was just going to be making up the numbers.
Well, yeah, you say that, but I mean, they're almost making Q2. So, like, they're not the last, they're not 21st and 22nd in every session. It's just not happening. So in sprint qualifying, Perez nearly made Q2 and Bottas was 20th. And then in actual qualifying, let's have a look at that. I think they were quite close again. No, they weren't. Perez was 20th and Bottas was 22nd. But
that's not 21 and 22 though.
No, it's not. They've always got somebody behind them. So
occasionally, it's not Lance.
Most of the time, it's Lance Stroll. What was that on his helmet this week? By the way, was it
cherries?
Was it
Do you have cherries?
Canadian cherries?
I got fucking clue.
Thing?
I don't know.
I mean, I thought cherries grew in sort of milder climates than Montreal.
Oh no! I've tried to Google it and I've accidentally Googled Lance's troll.
Lance's troll.
It is inspired by the traditional wreath awarded to ancient Greek Olympic champions, which goes no way to explaining why it's on Lance Stroll's head. But there we go.
Wait, hang on.
Yep.
It's inspired by the wreath given to ancient Greek Olympic champions.
Yep.
Is this the cherries or Lance's troll?
Lance's troll. Yeah, the cherries were on like a sort of vine thing, and apparently that's what that's meant to look like.
I thought at first they were tomatoes. I was very confused.
He dedicated...
Cherries don't grow on a vine.
They're on a vine on his helmet. I don't know what to tell you.
Tomatoes grow on a vine.
That's why I thought they were tomatoes.
If this is in preparation for his new wine, I am not fucking drinking it if it's got tomatoes.
He has done it
in
associated with a company in Canada that does produce and wholesale food and shit. So maybe he is in cahoots. Launching some kind of product.
Remember the last Canadian driver who came from a food importing and produce background?
Yes.
The goat.
He now makes what is it, Nutella cocktails?
Nutella cocktails with his own brand of tequila.
It's not something I've ever gone up to the mini bar or the bar at the hotel swimming pool and gone, can you make me a Nutella-ini, if that's all right?
Can I read you a couple of paragraphs of the shite on this? Right. Inspired by the traditional wreath awarded to ancient Greek Olympic champions, the helmet design features a bold British Columbia cherries motif, symbolising Aston Martin's pursuit of success and Crown, the company, commitment to exceptional Canadian produce. Flowing through the design are stylised Aston Martin wings with cherry tree branches inspired by the wings of the Roman god Mercury. The colour palette brings the story together, blending red and white to reflect Canada's national identity, with green as a tribute to the team. So there you go.
There are some holes I can pick in this.
Wait a second. Yeah, I'm going to pick a hole in it straight away. Why are they crossing mythologies? Greek and Roman mythology?
Greek, Roman,
not mythology,
Canadian, all the mythologies.
So, I mean, they could have said they could have said Hermes instead of Mercury.
No, they're called every now.
Hey,
Yeah.
Come on. It's very good stuff.
Also, if they're talking about trees and Canada, look at the bloody flag. There's a big clue to the Canadian national tree on that.
Yeah,
Isn't there
that
usually a
might be
maple leaf on his helmet?
I think he does normally have a maple leaf on his helmet.
Yeah.
He drives like he's sat in a puddle of maple syrup.
Whee. Can I read out a crazy stat from the weekend?
Yes.
Please do.
So, this is from Eldar on Twitter, and it is for qualifying head-to-head, and more specifically, how long has one teammate got a streak on the other? So, for example, because it was this weekend and they out-qualified them, currently it's a 1-0 streak when it comes to Hamilton, Lindblad, Russell and Perez over Leclerc, Lawson, Antonelli and Bottas, for example.
Yeah, they've got a one-race streak. Yeah.
It's a 2-0 streak for Colapinto over Gasly, Lando over Piastri, Max over Hadjar, Hulkenberg over Bortoletto, and Behrman over Ocon. It's a 4-0 streak when it comes to Sainz and Albon. Does anyone want to guess the current streak from Alonso to Stroll?
Oh,
Yeah.
many.
I'm going to go 18.
No, I think it's bigger than that.
I don't think Stroll out-qualified him like all last season.
What did you say, Chris?
I said 40-something.
You're correct. 41-0 currently to Alonso.
Amazing.
God.
Oh, good God. And that's with his hands being shaken off.
Yeah, that's a bloke who's basically lying down whilst driving with no hands.
I mean, pre-Canadian Grand Prix, that would have been 40 love, which is something that Lance should go and listen to in his new tennis career.
Yes, very much so.
Why is he still there? He blatantly doesn't want to be there.
Oh, that video of him handing over the Marshall Award at the weekend.
At arm's length with
It's
an absolutely disgusting look on his face because he was having to deal with a commoner.
It's like in The Simpsons where they have the Krusty the Clown trading cards, and there's something like he goes and sees his parents, and it's just him miserable next to his miserable parents. Just there's no joy in that man's heart, is there?
None whatsoever.
He dedicated his race to Lawrence, which I found funny.
He didn't have a good race.
Well, that's probably why he dedicated it.
Daddy hasn't given him a good car, so he's not going to give him a good race.
So 16 cars finished the race. Lance Stroll was 15th. Behind the 4 pit stop. Lance Stroll was 15th on 2 pit stops, 4 laps down, with only Valtteri Bottas behind him, who was also 4 laps down, but did 4 pit stops.
Cadillac with their 4 pit stop strategy.
I think one of those was a penalty.
I think you might be right. Yes. Did they serve it under the VSC?
Yes, I think so.
Even Hadjar had 3 pit stops, and he still finished 5th.
And at least one of them was a penalty.
Yes.
2 of them.
Yeah. Just stop and go, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Possibly,
Yeah,
yes,
it was.
I think it was.
10-second one.
Yeah.
Talking of the stewards, God, they were busy this week.
Fucking hell,
Right
weren't
across
they?
every
Yeah.
series. I
Yeah.
mean, we still haven't seen the 3rd Academy race and the F2 feature race. But
The F2 feature races. That's a good one. Enjoy that.
The F2 was one of the best races I've seen for a long time.
that will.
There was too much racing on this Sunday, wasn't there? Like, can we not have Canada and Indy 500 on the same week again? Because it's unhelpful.
Yeah, and having that red flag that delayed the end of the Indy 500 till after the F1 started. And Kieran, I am still so sorry for spoiling the result for you.
That's all right. I mean, I did the classic thing that I normally do with IndyCar, where I go, "Oh yeah, I'll keep a note of it," and then the build-up is 3 hours, and I go, "Oh, God." Then the start is interesting, and then in the middle it gets a bit dull. And I go, I think I'm a bit bored now. And then right towards the end, I went, "Oh, this is going to be brilliant! Red flag! I'll record this." Don't worry, I watched it anyway.
Yeah, I had a passing interest in the Indy 500 when Fernando Alonso took part in it, and then it was the first year I watched it, and then I realised you don't really need to watch the first 190 laps.
Sometimes you do. I mean, last year's one of the top drivers took himself out on the parade lap. Just crashed
Scott
somehow.
McLaughlin.
Yeah, all by himself. So yeah, not everyone gets to the green flag at the start.
And Mick nearly threw himself into the wall, didn't he, in the last couple of laps or so?
Congratulations to Mick as well, by the way, for winning Rookie of the Year. For finishing 18th.
After finishing ahead of Caio Collet, who had his car on fire with 2
he caught
wheels
fire.
They haven't put him out yet. That was in that final ad break before the F1 started. I quickly switched over, and about 2 seconds after we switched over, into shot was a ball of flames, Caio Collet. Like, okay, I'll record it. Yeah, this ain't going to finish now.
Yeah, I mean, we tried to do the triple header, but the NASCAR just got a little bit too much, and
They didn't finish that in the end, did they? They cut it short.
I know when it eventually had the result called, it was about 3 o'clock our time, and there was no way I was staying up, so I was absolutely knackered. Because we've been
Catherine Legg do it?
She did. She finished that one. She didn't finish the Indy 500. She got Ryan Hunter-Reid.
Well, she tried not to T-bone Ryan Hunter-Reid, but it sent her into a spin.
Uh-huh. No, I think he did. I think he did pick her up in the end. I think they did tangle.
Oh, was there? Because I know she said she tried to avoid him, but
Didn't.
yeah.
He was going all the directions.
But yeah, NASCAR pre-race blurb. Okay, we can give it to him this time with the tribute to Kyle Busch. I can understand. Fantastic driver, not liked by everyone, but I think NASCAR racers knew they were racing against him because they'd probably end up backwards on fire and upside down. But normally at a NASCAR race, God, the pre-blurb goes on for ages. As Mrs. Dan said before the actual start, they said drivers start your engines half an hour ago. Why are they all still in the pit lane?
She wasn't wrong. She was not wrong.
But yeah, back to the Canadian stewards. God, there was that many infractions for everything, and now Hulkenberg has a suspended stop-go penalty till the end of the season for being out of place at the safety car line.
What is that? Suspended stop-go. What does he have to do to unsuspend that? Does he have to do the same thing again?
If he does the same thing again, he'll get a stop-go penalty, and he's got that hanging over him until the end of the season, which the normal penalty for that particular infraction is a stop-go penalty.
Why didn't he just get that penalty then, if that's what he did?
God knows. But every race we saw, the amount of bloody exclamation marks on the timing tower for somebody either being under investigation or penalised.
Yeah.
And that was across
there were
three...
a lot of yellow ones, and there was a lot of red ones as well, with people who already had penalties.
Yeah, and that was across three different bloody series.
For about 10 seconds or so, they stuck out a red exclamation mark for Hajar, followed by a yellow exclamation mark on the end of that for Hajar, and it broke the whole graphics. They had to pull it away and restart it. I thought that was quite good fun.
Because he got a penalty and then was under investigation for something else.
Yes.
Yeah, yellow flag infringement or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, under investigation for having a penalty.
Yeah. Yeah, Bottas got done for speeding in the pit lane, if I remember rightly. That was his big penalty.
I think Hulk got that at some point as well, and then there was the safety car line infringement, and oh, God knows. I mean, you know, we've said before the stewards are a little slow to react or don't react sometimes. I think they've made up.
Overreacted this time.
I think they've gone out the other side this week, and everything was an infringement.
Yeah.
You know,
very much.
You're driving a car. We'll have to investigate that. Right, hang on. Let me.
Are we on Cadillac? Have we done Cadillac?
Are we just lunging about randomly?
I think we're really just lunging about
McLaren strategies.
Roll a dice and do the opposite of what it says.
Oh, God almighty. What were they thinking?
I understand the strategy. I do. I get it. Because, I think Oscar said after the race, if it works, you look like an absolute, literally like a rock star. But if it doesn't, you look like a wank. Mm-hmm. The thing is, everybody else was on different tyres. And it wasn't like they had a formation lap to go, oh, you know what, we might have made a mistake here, should we box? But you had 3 formation laps to decide, and every formation lap, Oscar Piastri was on the radio being like, so there's no rain, and I'm on the wet tyre, and I'm slipping around quite a lot out here, and I'm not going fast. I think we should maybe rethink this. No, just go to the grid, Oscar. Okay. Another formation lap. I don't think we made the right choice here, guys. I really want to come in and box for... Nope, we're going straight to the grid, Oscar. Right, okay, this isn't happening, is it? How many times? You've got to listen to your drivers. Otherwise, what's the point in having them?
I mean, surely the second the tyre covers come off, you must go like, oh, hang on a minute. What everyone else...
Yeah.
And none of them have crashed. What have we done?
You think the people who lifted off the tyres had a quick look around and go,
shit.
Who else is on it today?
Hold up, let me just look at that. No, this isn't rain.
Those ones are red. Those ones are red. Those ones are red. There's no other green ring tyres out there. It's just us.
Why are your tyres completely smooth?
God, is it that bad out there you've run the tread off them?
Yeah, they've already gone straight to slick to mediate. Yeah, it's utter stupidity. But like you say, yeah, they could have looked sensible if it had paid off.
Yeah, the only way it would have paid off was for it to continue raining. When it stopped raining, and they kind of noticed that the track wasn't absolutely freezing, so it was gonna clear by itself fairly quickly. Then you notice, okay, it was tricky getting to the grid on slick tyres, but every other team got to the grid on slick tyres through the trickiness. And surely a soft tyre at, full racing temperature is going to be a lot grippier than a used medium going at half to 2/3 at the best pace. Also, when Ferrari look around at you and go, "Oh, mate, you know you fucked up."
Yes, yeah, exactly that.
I mean, it was a great start, obviously, because they had the grip off the line. Lando getting into the lead very briefly. But it became apparent quite quickly, as soon as the others got their tyres up to temperature, that was not the right tyre to be on. And it's exactly it is exactly what Oscar was saying on those 3 formation laps.
Well, ironically, Lando went up 2 and Oscar went down 1. Oscar got done by Lewis on the first corner. So even there's not even like a marked consistency where the intermediate tyres will be good for 2 laps because you've got heat in them easier than the others. Because Lando's managed to perform with them, and Oscar, understandably so, not laying into Oscar here, understandably so, Oscar couldn't.
I mean, the issue is if they're good for 2 laps and they've done 3 formation laps and they're done already.
Pretty much. Don't forget, the other thing is, and this sort of contributes to Lando getting away in the lead, the Mercedes isn't the best car on the grid at starting.
No.
And,
no, very much not.
You know, he may have had the same levels of grip that he would have had on the softs, but the gap opened up because he's got 2 slightly slower cars in front of him, so hell, might as well go for it while the gap's there. And I have no idea what that cat is doing.
There will definitely be strange noises in the background at the moment.
So I think that's what gave Lando the good start, and it was kind of, it was, I don't think it was more to do with Mercedes always being not the quick, or currently being not the quickest car off the line, and Lando being a good starter, and the McLaren usually being a good starter when it's got the grip. So I would probably say that Hamilton had the best start out of everyone.
Fair, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
And sort of Antonelli in a sense, but maybe Antonelli, you know, he started second by the end of first lap, was second, but he knew he was getting first because the car in front for some reason put on a wet tyre on a dry track. And it just seemed like Russell really backed out of it very early. He was about to be pincered, to be fair to him, and he would have lost out.
And the thing is there with the complete lack of space in turn 1 there.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be take to the dark grey painted gravel or whatever. And...
Yeah. So I thought at first that was a graphic until you see all the black grass being kicked up by Antonelli. They didn't just overlay that. They looked at that one and went, fuck it, paint it. Yeah. Paint it up.
Get the hammerite out.
Yeah, exactly.
But what McLaren were playing at all through the start, and Piastri's move on Albon. Hadn't he seen any of F2?
Yeah, it was a bit brutal.
It was that was a rookie error in impatience. He should have known full well that Albon, you know, who was fighting Colapinto was it at the time, fighting for position, was definitely going to take the inside line to give himself the best chance down the straight. But it seemed to not enter his head at all whatsoever that the empty space might get filled by the car that was in front of him, and this is exactly what happened. And it was nobody's fault but his.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Leroy Jenkins moment.
That wasn't the racing driver and center thing, was it? If you don't go for a gap, you know, you're no longer a racing driver.
There wasn't a gap. There was a side pod.
No, I mean there was a gap, but it wasn't
his gap.
Always going to close.
Has anyone heard the team radio of that on Oscar's car at the time?
No.
Didn't he make some really shitty excuse about locking up?
No, it was. It's from the other direction. It's It's not Will Joseph. It's Tom Stoppard, isn't it? Tom
Stallard.
Stallard.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Tom Stoppard's the playwright.
Oh, yes. Famously not on the McLaren pit wall, Tom Stallard. Tom Stallard comes on the radio as he's making the lunge saying, just to make you aware, your front tyre brakes are quite cold. It's like, and before he's finished the sentence, he's already in the side of Albon. It's like, yeah, no shit.
Yeah, I think this is a race that isn't going to be on McLaren's end of season highlights video.
No.
Isn't it their 1,000th race in Monaco? Is this coming up to their 1,000th Grand Prix?
Oh shit.
Oh.
Yeah. So they. I'm very glad that it wasn't in Canada. I think it's in Monaco. I might be wrong, but yeah.
If it had been last weekend, I think we'd have heard nothing else. Other than
that's not.
Big anniversary.
No celebrations for this one. Thanks very much.
Yeah,
this is the third race out of the last 7 or 8 they've truly ballsed up.
Mm-hmm.
Fueled up, surely.
Oh dear.
Yes, sorry, my apologies. It's balls on the mind. They in Qatar, in Las Vegas, obviously double DSQ. In Qatar, they were the only 2 not to pit on that sort of everyone had to pit on lap 7 fiasco. And now they've put them both on Inters. If anything, it's a little harsh on Ferrari to compare them to Ferrari at this rate.
I mean, do they need GP Lambiase to come and sort things out? Because that's a thing that's rumbling on as well, isn't it? Lauren McKees is saying, look, the conversations I've had with GP, he says he's going to McLaren to become team principal. And Andrea Stella keeps just saying, we just want him to come in and do a job for us because we think it'd be amazing.
I mean, there are rumours that he's actually going to be team principal of the WEC team.
That seems
That'd be
unlikely.
weird.
I mean, Lambiase is for all of his quirks, like he is a great competitor. He knows how to get the best out of Max, for example. I don't know who else he's been race engineer for, but I think if you've got somebody like that watching over, sort of the technical side of things or the strategy side of things in your team, you're almost golden, because like there is a man with a lot of experience in how to win races and how to win world championships when the car is in the right place.
I mean, you can say that about Christian Horner as well for this new alleged BYT entry that's coming in.
Oh no, that's not going to happen. Because BYD are mostly electric anyway. We've already spoken about Formula One going back to V8s.
They just want to join to sell cars.
They could go into Formula E. Formula E would be a fantastic thing for them to join.
I think there was a Formula E race this weekend or last week. I've lost track now.
No idea.
No.
I've given up on Formula E.
Yeah, same, sadly.
Yeah, breeze blocks in a warehouse.
Yeah, it's too Peloton-y for me now.
Peloton-y.
What, you get some overexcited fitness instructor shouting at you while you're watching the race, telling you to push hard.
Yeah, it's too Stephen Bartlett-y for me.
Nobody needs that.
No.
We haven't really done Red Bull. Max had a lot of comparisons to point out between the lack of pure driving in the F1 cars and the AMG GT that he was driving at the 24 Hours of Nürburgring.
The one that
the
broke.
previous week. The one that completely broke. Apparently the GTs are just pure racing driving, and F1 is stats, I think was one of the quotes I heard.
Okay.
I'm sure Sean was very happy to hear that.
Yeah. I have no problems with him hitting out a little bit on what's happening at the moment, but if he can stop flip-flopping, I'd be grateful.
Do you know what? I think it is all PR spin and bluster. Because, okay, hear me out on this one. He isn't winning everything. He's not the reigning world champion. He is not leading the Drivers' Championship. Red Bull are not the strongest team at the moment. which under normal circumstances would just throw out a lot of negative press about Red Bull. Is Max finished? Is Red Bull finished? What's gone wrong? Why are people better? Whereas throw the I might retire, and then all of a sudden the narrative comes back to about Max and how F1 doesn't want to lose Max, and it gets people talking about him and the team in a positive light again.
Yeah, I do get where you're going with this, but he is starting to slowly garner support for what he's saying in the paddock with other drivers. They agree with him to a certain extent, but they don't want to be the ones to get in trouble and be like, yeah, I'm with Max. But even like Lewis Hamilton has said this weekend, like, when you used to put your foot down with the old V8s, you would just the engine would be screaming and the car would just keep pulling and pulling and pulling. It's not like that with these cars. So you are, and Pierre Gasly I think has said something as well this weekend. So you do have drivers sort of slowly coming out and supporting Max and saying, well, yeah, we do need to do something about it. It's just that Max is the most forthright and the most vocal, and it does make it sound like he doesn't like these because he's not winning. But I don't think any driver is a really huge fan of it at the moment. I quite enjoy it. I quite enjoy watching it. I think it's fun. But I mean, I'm not the one getting behind the wheel of a car, and being like, oh, wish there was more go to this. Come on.
Yeah, I understand that.
I mean, it's always difficult every time there's a major overhaul. Remember when the the first V6 turbos came in, and we were just stunned by the fact that we could hear more of the tyres than the engines in a corner.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Especially in places like Barcelona where they go around like the long corner, you can hear the tyre squeal all the way around.
And, never heard that before. Didn't realise that tyres screamed like Ned Flanders. But as we've been saying for 11 years, it's always difficult with new regulations to get them right.
Yeah, and they can tweak them as we said before, and tweak them until things do go right. But at the end of the day, you all signed up for it.
Yeah, that's what makes this a little trickier. Is that they can turn around and say, "Oh, we're not happy with how this is going, and we're going to tweak this." But I mean, Max said years ago, "I don't like the fact that we're running out of power halfway down the straight at Monza." It is something which has been known. It's very tricky to put yourself in a position of, "Oh wow, would you look at this?" when it has been known that this was going to happen.
Yeah, probably for the last 18 months, I would say it's been a concern, hasn't it? Like, so what happens if the super clipping runs out, so you get to the end of the straight in Monza, and okay, fine, you've been doing 210 miles an hour as you approach it, but because of the super clipping, you're very slowly going 210, 200, 190, 180, 170, and then you don't have to brake for the corner. Well, you obviously still do, doing 170 mile an hour, but
170 mile an hour at the first chicane in Monza. Yeah, good luck with that.
but it takes a lot less braking effort, doesn't it, to then slow down for the chicane. It does need addressing, put it that way. But in terms of racing and how close the cars can follow, and I think it's brilliant. This Antonelli-Russell battle that we got in Canada, there was no way we would have got that in the previous iteration of rules. It would have been Antonelli close behind Russell, and then, your temperatures are getting a bit high, and you have to drop back to 2 or 3 seconds, and then have another go 5 laps later once he cooled all his temperatures down. And then nothing would happen, and you have to back off again. And, oh, God, right. We're watching cars follow each other a lot closer, which was supposed to be happening in the last aero rules for some reason, but now that they've got rid of the Venturi tunnels, now the cars are able to follow closer. What's that all about?
Well, you didn't want to follow anything too closely in the last generation because you could have got porpoised into.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, but the thing is, we've got good racing, and I don't want to spoil good racing for the sake of Max Verstappen being able to put his foot down a bit harder. Do you know what I mean?
think that's a fair way of putting it.
Do you know what I mean? We've got good racing, but the thing is, it's a problem for the drivers, but all of the drivers are in the same boat. All of the teams signed up to this. This is the way that it is. Find a way around it or don't. But, that's the sport.
Yeah, I think that's the best way of putting it, really. Have we missed out anything else?
Should we talk about the
Blatant.
3 formation laps? Because what the fuck
Yes.
was going on there? What?
Did everyone else just sort of stop going, what, during that first one?
Yeah,
No,
what
yeah.
what I think happened is obviously Lindblad couldn't get it into gear. Mm-hmm. So he stuck his arms out and waved, saying, I can't move. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Normally, the start lights would have started flashing, because that's usually the process for an aborted start. Instead, they turned them off, and we had green flashing panels at the side of the track.
Which is not a thing to sort of expect, really.
Yeah.
The first indication of an aborted start that I had, I don't know about everybody else, but was the orange lights on the Mercedes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because the back of both Mercedes started flashing.
Yeah. And I said, Antonelli's just jumped the start. And I went, oh, no, he hasn't. It's aborted. And I thought maybe it had been aborted because Antonelli had jumped. Mm. But
So
the orange flashing lights were what gave it away to me that the start had been aborted, because I didn't see anything else that told me that start had been aborted.
No.
The rule is that the lights will go off at an anonymous time between 1/10 of a second and 3 seconds after the final red light went on. And it was well over 3 seconds, so you'd easily sit there going, well, something's fucked here, isn't it? It can't be purposeful, this isn't whoever's in the lighting tower going, let's go for 12 seconds, let's really shit them up. So yeah, it's something they didn't handle it very well. Mm-hmm. Just the yellow lights would have been enough, wouldn't it? You've had a situation like that I want to say it was Silverstone some years ago, back in maybe even the 90s, where they put the yellow lights up on the 5th red light, and half of them went and half of them didn't, and it was all a bit chaotic.
It was Sao Paulo, wasn't it? I think when they had an aborted start, but it wasn't an actual aborted start, and some of them, as you say, some of them did, and some of them didn't.
Yeah, that was only a couple of years ago, wasn't it?
Was it Lando that kind of got that one a bit wrong?
Yeah, it was Lando.
Yeah. But it was indicated to him incorrectly. So whilst half the field got it correctly, it didn't come up correct on his steering wheel. So he went.
Mm. But then, of course, they had to send him out on another what was going to be a formation lap. But they decided to push Lindblad's car backwards.
Well, I heard on the commentary they have gates in the wall for things like this.
Yes.
You saw the marshals walk out of the gate.
Yes, and then not use it.
We have an explanation for this.
And it's the pit lane closed.
The pit lane was open, but at Canada, you're not allowed to reverse down the pit lane.
I think that's
you're
a general
only allowed
rule,
to go
isn't it?
through forwards, even if you're pushing the car back. So they had to go to the end of the pit lane to push it through, because they opened the gate. We saw them open the gate, ready to do that. But the Toro Rosso, what year is it? The Racing Bull V-Carb garage was too far down near the start of the pit lane, so they had to take it all the way to the final corner and then wheel it in forwards from there, because they weren't allowed to wheel it backwards in the pit lane.
But you can wheel it backwards on a live racetrack.
Yeah, why not? We'll go with that.
While people are like coming
mad,
back up
isn't
and
it?
trying to form on a grid.
Oh,
Yeah, so So obviously, because grid slots were being occupied by a car being wheeled backwards very slowly, not everybody could grid up, so they had to send them round again, and then stop everyone and send them out on another formation lap.
Why did they go on a third formation lap? Was that still car not ready?
Was it because they'd have been sat idling for too long while they continued to fanny about with Lindblad?
Yeah, I actually think Crofty said as much with that about 5 minutes or so in. And that would make sense because it was a fair while before they actually got that car back into the pit lane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they couldn't have the start with anyone on a hot track. And if it was a car that wasn't moving, that would have been an instant safety car.
Yeah.
So, it's lights out, away we go, safety car straight away, and Maylander has to come out of the pits before lights out.
Yeah, you don't get a proper start, really, do you?
Yeah, and basically it was just a mess down to a crappy car and bizarre regulations.
Mm-hmm. It's a real shame for Lindblad as well because he had an incredible weekend.
Yeah,
he's
up until that point.
He's proven himself to be well worth the seat. I was a little bit dubious because last season's F2, not talking in NFL terms here, not a legendary draft class.
He also, as well, was sort of a bit feast or famine, wasn't he? He had some great races, and he also had some races where he was essentially a bowling ball.
I mean, you could say the same about Antonelli 2 years ago.
True.
I mean, this year's F2, I'm sticking my neck out. I don't think any of those drivers will make it to a regular F1 seat.
Well, I think Gabriele Mini is on for a Formula One seat if he can find the seat to go into.
I think Kamara will as well.
Kamara would be my pick. I think Gabriele Mini for me is a bit Luca Giotto.
Oh, okay.
What an insult!
He'll do well in F2, and just no one will want him.
With old Gabriele Mini, he's got a few people down at the Alpine kiddie factory that they've got to get through, haven't they? And he's one of them. I don't think he's got to worry too much about Kushmini.
No.
But maybe Alex Dunn?
Maybe.
I realise what I just said.
Or as he's known in our chat, what's Alex done now?
Yes. And I guess we're sort of forgetting Colton Herta as well.
I mean, I think we can forget Colton Herta.
Everyone's forgetting Colton Herta. You saw the message I sent at the end of the sprint race. Shit, I forgot Herta was in this. Yes. I genuinely did.
There are quite a few people in F2 this year who are sort of not the most impressive driver in their family. Herta being one of them. But yeah, you've got Kushmini, Arjun Maini came before him. You've got the Montoya boy that seems to just be there because of his surname. There's a Fittipaldi. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of average relatives.
I don't want to give it away because you said you haven't watched the Formula 2 from Canada yet. So Emerson Fittipaldi in name only, and that's all.
Yes. That's a good way of putting it.
I am looking forward to this.
Enjoy that one.
Excellent.
That's pretty good.
Yes.
I think that might be one for tomorrow afternoon.
We were messaging during that, Chris.
We were.
What? What just happened?
What has he done?
Amazing. I'm very excited. I have seen, I think, a still of the event.
I've seen absolutely nothing, and Kieran, I know you owe me a spoiler, but not for this.
No, I won't do that. I wouldn't do that. Is Soloff in mind with Red Bull, maybe?
Possibly. He's probably next in line for a seat if they bin Lawson, isn't he? It could be Solov and Lindblad maybe at VCARB next year.
If I was to predict...
Hang on a second. What are you pointing at?
I'm trying
What's
to
the
tell
cat
you
doing?
that the cat is eating your gaming headset, the one she's already destroyed the muff on. She's now eating the cable.
I just saw you gesticulating at a cat and then your headphones.
Yeah, the little wire that goes into the ear, she is very keen to eat that.
Down here, I have a can of cat deterrent.
So she's destroying something else now instead.
Sounds a little bit like I'm going to open a can of whoop ass on my cat.
No,
Okay.
it's an air duster.
Oh, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Not directly at her, just enough to get her attention.
Yeah.
Nah, she's got something else now. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I think it's a print cartridge. Nothing bad can come of that.
Toxic ink. What could possibly go wrong?
Largely white cat. What could possibly go wrong?
That cat got more black patches on her than she had when we went to bed.
That cat's a Pantone colour.
Yeah, Solov. Well, I mean, he's got the axe murderer mentality for a Red Bull driver.
Yeah, sure.
But he's also incredibly quick. When he got did a little bit of a spoiler for the F2 here. He got spun around at one point, but his recovery was brilliant.
I mean, he's quick because he doesn't like braking,
Yeah, that's
which we've seen quite a
not
lot.
the worst way of putting it.
But moving away from things we haven't seen yet, so we don't spoiler them. How do we feel about rock stars and wankers?
Yes.
And why are McLaren
McLaren
top of the
wankers.
wanker list?
Yes, McLaren are top of the wanker list.
I'm going to go TV direction again.
Oh, by about lap 3, the TV director was on my shit list. It was awful.
So
my
the TV director, yeah, sorry, you go first, Kieran, because I've got one as well.
My favourite bit of the TV direction was when I can't remember what the overtake was, but it was either Leclerc on someone or someone on Leclerc, and you couldn't see the overtake because they went to a mini box of George Russell walking back into the paddock.
Nice.
So they literally put the mini box over where the overtake was happening on the main box. I think it must have been Leclerc on Hadjar.
Mine
Or their other crime against mini boxes, showing the Piastri Albon incident in a mini box behind the graphic that said yellow flag for that exact incident.
Yeah. So my favourite was when Antonelli pulled to the right to look to overtake George at the chicane at the end of the lap, and just as he pulled to the right and we didn't see what happened in the braking zone, we cut to an image of Valtteri Bottas in the pit lane.
This was I think the moment for me. It was like, right, TV director wanker.
I don't remember that.
I vividly remember it.
Yes. Yeah, I was like, oh, Antonelli, is it this time in the braking zone? Here's Bottas in the pits. Like, no one cares. No disrespect to Valtteri.
Anything else to go on the shit list for the wankers?
I mean, you could say many things. Whoever designs the seats down at Aston Martin Racing.
Lance Stroll's helmet. Just generally, Lance Stroll's helmet.
I mean, you could have had Lance Stroll's A helmet. Actually, no, Lance Stroll for the Marshall Award presentation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
be
was a
grateful.
bit
Like,
wankery.
you need them to go racing. Be nice.
Yeah, we're saying that at the moment because TT Fortnight's just started, and this would not happen without the Orange Army of Marshals.
Of course. And absolute heroes, every single one of them. You always pray that they've got nothing to do, but unfortunately, every year they've always got something to do. So yeah,
I mean,
You'd have to say a bit of a Gene Simmons award for Oscar Piastri. Rockstar for telling them, guys, get me off this tyre. Wanker for going into Alex Albon.
Gene Simmons Award is a good one. I like that.
Yeah.
That is the name of it, though.
That is
isn't
the
it?
official name of it.
Yeah.
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 A rock star that is also a wanker. Rock stars, Mercedes.
Yes.
Just Mercedes all round for that performance, for all the battles that we had.
For refusing what Toto called fruit rules.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
Or
yes.
taking it into Star Wars, which I'm still confused about.
Yeah, I
You
still don't
mentioned
know what
twice.
that is. Yeah.
Colapinto.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
Good race for
Stick
Alpine.
race.
Pinto had a good race. Yeah.
Yep.
He just stayed out of trouble and ended up crossing the line ahead of most of the other people.
Best of the rest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that probably would have been Lindblad. But
they were talking about the way that Colapinto has just suddenly clicked over the last couple of races, and it's like he's back to how he started in his first race at Williams.
Yeah,
it's almost like somebody went, no, Franco, it's like, it's a steering wheel. And he was like, oh, it's a car. Right, got you.
Not a space hopper, right?
Maybe that was the issue last year, in that the Alpine car was barely a car. This year, it appears to have a little bit more about it.
Yeah,
a general air of cariness.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also talk, isn't there, about sorry, so just
go for it
very quickly. We haven't mentioned Haas really, but Esteban Ocon apparently in a little bit of trouble performance-wise this year, and may not make the end of the season.
Oh, really?
I think it got disproved on one of Ted's notebooks. Because there was more Ted's notebooks this weekend than I swear we've seen all year.
Because you've got the sprint notebooks and then the notebooks.
Sprint quality race. Yeah, 4 notebooks. Yeah,
I've got family to see. I can't have time for 4 of your notebooks, Ted. And then the pre-race pod book. No, not enough time. But yeah, I think it's been I think he sort of slightly said it was based off a rumour, which is from someone who isn't reputable or something like that. It wouldn't surprise me whatsoever, though, if Ocon's gone by the end of the season.
Who would replace him?
Yeah,
it's probably Kamara then, isn't it?
Rio Hiro. Yeah, they're looking at Rio
Hirakawa, isn't
it? Or Yuki Tsunoda, if it was going to be a mid-season swap.
I'd forgotten about Yuki.
But that was out.
Well, I mean, Yuki's still tied in the Red Bull programme.
They've also got Jack Doohan. Apparently they own Jack Doohan. He's replaced Ocon before. He'll be fine.
And they've also got access to...
It went really well.
They've also got access to Zhou Guanyu, who's the Ferrari reserve driver, so he comes with the engine.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, they have options then.
Would Kamara have enough points from winning F3? I think he would, wouldn't he? Go straight from F3 to F1.
I think so. I think that's about right.
Yeah. And he's a Ferrari junior again, a bit like Zhou. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's that old thing, isn't it? If I had a penny for every time Jack Doohan replaced Esteban Ocon during the season, I'd have 2, which isn't many, but it's weird that it's happened twice.
Let's have a look. F3 gets you 30 points, but I think has he got a lower down title as well that might have
one for
I think he's got like a Frecker or something of that ilk.
Yeah, surely he's got enough.
Yes, he won.
We're bound to see him in a
FP1,
aren't we?
I mean, Ayo Komatsu has officially denied the rumours that Ocon's on his way out, so somebody will be going in for a seat fitting within hours.
Yeah, so Kamara should have, from the last 2 years, Kamara should have 55 licence points, which is fine.
Yeah. Which is definitely enough, and we are recording this on a Tuesday, so...
News!
Why do you think
hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, why do you think I keep checking the news? Oh, the other rumour that has been doing the rounds that I've had sent to me by a couple of people, and nothing's come from it yet, is that Aston are already ready to ditch Honda and are in discussions with Ferrari.
God. I mean, Who wins in that? Ferrari don't win because they're giving a competitor an engine.
Yep.
Honda don't win because they're out of sport again. Aston Martin don't win because it's a massive payoff.
Cadillac.
Is it worth
Cadillac win because then they won't be the slowest Ferrari-powered car.
Yeah. But then Adrian Newey doesn't win because he gets his first fully self-designed car next year, and he's going to have to switch engine, and the seat keeps moving, and yeah. I don't know. I think you just stick it out with Honda and hope they improve for a couple of years, and then hit the panic button in 28 or something.
And then
5 rounds.
Then
is
Honda
too
go
early.
to another team and win 4 world
This
championships
is
with them after you
is
bailed.
the problem Alonso? Because when the Honda has not been in an Alonso team, it's been fine.
Yes. Yeah.
And we are even including McLaren IndyCar in that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've got one more rock star, which is a bit tenuous, but has anyone seen the clip of Bortoleto doing the interview for Spanish TV walking down the paddock? And he's chatting very nicely, very slowly. Then Hulkenberg comes up behind him and sticks an umbrella end up his arse. And he literally goes, "Ah!" It's well worth checking out.
That is what I look at.
I don't know if I can call mild sexual assault a rock star move, but the noise that Bortoletto made was very amusing.
It's Bortoletto that's the rock star more so than Hulkenberg for the umbrella penetration.
Yeah. I was going to say, looking through some of my album collection, Rockstar and Sexual Assault, yeah, it kind of...
Yeah, good point.
Going back to Rockstars, Lewis and Max for that racing that took us back 6 years.
Yeah.
Notice I said 6 and not 5.
And the chat and the cool down room I thought was really quite lovely as well. They both seemed genuinely excited to talk it through.
Yeah.
It was a brilliant overtake. So, Max thought, he's clearly got the speed on me here, but if I cover the inside line, it leaves him, only the outside line and he won't get past there. Oh, he's gone past.
Another one.
Lewis waited for Max to move and just stuck to the racing line. It was a classic Lewis Hamilton pass. It was really, really good to see. And I know Max was able to stick with Lewis. Now, I don't mind admitting I was a little bit like, they got a crash in the last lap. But I was happy to see Lewis get another podium for Ferrari. It was also quite amusing seeing Max on the podium, because even though we're used to seeing it all the time, this is his first one this year.
Yeah.
So, Antonelli win, Lewis second, Max Verstappen third. That's an all right podium.
Anyone see the photo from I think it was 2018 Italian Grand Prix, where Kimi was one of the grid kids and he was standing right in front of Lewis and Max.
Yeah, it's quite cute that, because Kimi was, it's 8 years ago, so he was 10 or 11 or so. But he looks so young.
Even compared to now. Yeah, again, another Mrs. Dan quote. He's not old enough to drive.
Yeah, unfortunately he is. And also he's leading the world championship.
Jane caught a tiny bit of one of the F2 races, and they showed an interview with, I think Stenshorn was on pole for one of the races, and they showed an interview of him on the formation lap, and Jane very loudly went, "Who's that fucking child?"
The F1 Academy cool down room after the reverse grid race. Christ on a bike, they kept having to mute those mics.
Yes, that was a lot of
15,
16-year-old girls with a lot of adrenaline and a lot of second language and F-bombs, and they were having a great time.
Yeah, it was after the watershed and they were still cutting that mic out every couple of seconds.
Martinius Stenshorn is older than Antonelli.
Christ!
I think a lot of the F2 field is older than Kimi Antonelli,
and all feel incredibly bitter about it because he's managed to do something and they haven't.
So I mean, it's Monaco next, isn't it?
It's Monaco next. On the weekend of the 6th and 7th. It doesn't matter what happens on the Sunday because the race will be decided on the Saturday.
Well, maybe, but we'll see what happens. We don't want any repeats of last year, but it doesn't matter what happens in terms of the championship. Kimi Antonelli will still be leading it when they leave Monaco.
That is just... Would not have called that.
It's 43 points, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
George Russell 88, Kimi Antonelli 131.
Oh, oof. It's not over, because we saw what happened with Leclerc in 2022 and even Piastri last year, and that was all the way forward in Zandvoort. It's very much not over, but that is... the dial is starting to turn slightly towards Antonelli, I'd say.
In terms of driving, yeah. So one more point to make about the whole Antonelli-Russell thing. When Kimi started to lose his head a little bit on the radio, I thought he's got to gather this up quickly, because if he doesn't, this could be George psychologically breaking him, and it'd be easy to do because he's only 19 years old. It was very, very quickly gathered together by, I think, probably post-race by people around Kimi Antonelli, and he went out and just did exactly the same thing again in the race on Sunday. It's not his fault George broke down, but he has to take the opportunity when it comes his way. He absolutely did. Psychologically, I think the edge is actually with Kimi now as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree. I think that obviously Kimi was of zero cause to Russell's breakdown, but the only thing Russell needs to see that would do him in more than the actual race result is the photo of Hamilton and Max having Kimi on their shoulders. That will do him in psychologically enough. Actually, it wasn't even Max, was it? It was Mr. A.N. Other from Mercedes. Which, if they keep winning like this, they're going to start having to send up the T-boy at this rate.
I mean, that's what they kind of did during the Mercedes dominant era.
Yeah, very good point.
You know, everybody from the team, I think, got to go on the podium at some stage.
Yeah, it's a cleaner back in Brixworth going, "You busy this Sunday?"
Oh, God, another trophy and a bottle of champagne. I've got 12 at home. Can you send somebody else?
Didn't they eventually send Toto up when they realised he was the only one who hadn't been up?
I do recall that, yes.
Rings a bell. Yeah. Monaco might be a bigger test for them because it levels the playing field a little bit. They can maximise their batteries. They don't have to worry about having to super clip and charge. The only place where that might become a problem is towards the end of the tunnel, but I severely doubt it. They'll get a fresh load of battery at the start of the next lap if they're in overtake mode. I think not overtake mode. What's it called? Within 1 second, whether that's called now.
Overtake mode.
I think. Isn't overtake all the? Oh no, there is overtake mode.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking of the flappy wings again.
That's just active aero, and everybody gets that.
Active aero, yeah. So they do. They can. This really levels things out. I hear my fan now. God, that's been what is it? An hour and 3/4 we're doing that. Sorry about that. This does level the playing field out entirely, and I think that's a really, really good sign because Monaco. Look, it isn't going to be a thriller unless there's weather. Last year's whole mandatory 2-stop thing, which they're not doing this year, doesn't count. But at least from a technical aspect, it might be a little better.
I will reserve judgment until a week on Saturday.
Yeah, and it is going to be.
Who's at a wedding that weekend? Me.
If it's any consolation, I'm doing the Majors 24 from 2:00 on the Saturday afternoon with a team of 5 or 6 of us.
Ooh.
Doing the race that they have to say is the Majors 24 round a circuit in the west of France for copyright reasons.
Okay.
Paul Ricard.
Yes, I'd quite like one, please, with ice.
Sorry, Chris, you were saying something there.
Oh, and of course, under French law, the Paul Ricard circuit is named after the actual person, not the drink, because they're not allowed to advertise booze.
No, otherwise it would be the Paul card. Which, with the bleep, sounds like Paul Rockard. Which, to me, I'm not one to pry.
Sounded like you called him Paul Dickhead to me. But
That reminds me, I'll have to give patrons a neighbour update on the. I might have to do that on the chat and not in this podcast.
We'll do a Patreon show next
first,
week.
And then Patreon podcast afterwards.
I'll pop something in the Discord.
Yeah, but what all I was going to say was if Monaco is dry and the whole weekend is dry and sunny, then what Paul said before is pretty much right. In that the race is almost decided on the Saturday. So if you are racing after 2 p.m. on a Saturday and the qualifying's already done, you probably know who's going to win the race.
Yeah,
depending on the weather forecast.
Yeah.
Well, the sim race that I'm doing will be finished by the time the Grand Prix starts. Thankfully. 2:00 Saturday and it's 24 hours of France. Right, thank you for bearing with us while we've had God knows how many technical problems. I ended up on crutches from tearing my leg apart. Mixers have exploded as we've tried to plug them in. Cats have tried to savage mic stands. You name it, it's probably happened to us over the last few weeks.
It's the hottest day of the year today, and somehow we've managed to do this without everything melting.
Hence
which
the
is
fan
a blessing.
noise.
Yeah, sorry about that. It
It's
is
all right,
currently
I've done my melting for today.
It's 1 minute past 10 now, and it is 25 degrees here.
Dang.
It's just sod that.
If we were at my mum, she'd be complaining it was getting a bit nippy and she'd have to pop inside and put a cardigan on.
Yeah, it's only 18 here. It's only 18 on the Isle of Man.
Oh, chilly.
Right, as I say, thank you for bearing with us. If you want to get in touch, Three Leg Sport Wheels on the socials, threelegsportwheels@gmail.com if you want to send in an Is That Glock, because we will bring that back, because when I get this mixer replaced, I will have a button to press and I'll actually be able to play the sound on it again, because I've left the Stream Deck upstairs. If you want to support us on Patreon, thank you to all the patrons that have donated. The money did go to buying a mixing desk, and now some of the money's going towards paying for postage to send the mixing desk back to get a replacement, because it doesn't chuffing work. But if you go to patreon.com/threelegsportwheels, all the details are on there. And on the socials individually, we are...
At Sean Cowper.
At Flood21.
At Kieran is boring.
And at Pablo100. And don't, of course, forget the prediction league on the website, threelegsportwheels.com. Right.
And which thankfully I did this weekend. I did forget it this weekend. And nothing changed.
Yeah. So if everything goes to plan, we will be back next week, right in the middle of the TT fortnight. Expect bikes. And I'll be putting some...
I think expect weather according to the Met Office.
Wonderful. And I'll be sticking some TT stuff on the socials if anybody's interested in bikey stuff as well. Right, we will see you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.